Hey guys, this is John Freeman with Source and Scale. I'm a full-time reseller on eBay, Poshmark, TradeZ, Etsy, and Mercari. And I make a full-time living at it. I've been doing it for about a year and a half or so. I was able to do about 130,000 in sales in my first year, and grew it from a 2-bedroom apartment using the spare closet, and grew it into what you see now, which is a 1,600 square foot warehouse slash shop. So this is where we do all of our processing, all of our photography, cleaning, all that kind of stuff, and storage. So it's a combination of our warehouse space. So I live in the Denver metro area, and the warehouse space out of here is actually going at a premium with the marijuana industry that's around here. So I was able to actually find a retail spot in the back of a strip mall where it doesn't get a lot of traffic, and they didn't have a lot of luck putting any stores in this space. So I was able to negotiate a pretty good rate for it on a monthly basis, and making it work. So with 1,600 square feet, we're able to currently, we store about 9,000 items in here. Plus we have our work areas. We have a shipping area. We have 3 photography stations. We only use one at a time right now, but my goal is to expand and to eventually have some staff and maybe have multiple things going on at the same time. So working on building that up. Right now it's my wife and I. My wife's name is Agilza, or Edgy. She's Brazilian. Right now she's in Brazil taking care of her mom. And I'm here at the shop by myself right now, just taking care of business. These are some of the shelving units you can see that we're using, and we currently have 30 of them constructed and built, and I've got another 10 that I tore down. We actually brought those in from a storage locker that we were in before we came here. We actually had 3 10 by 30 storage lockers filled up, and we were using a 2-car garage to do all of our processing in and photography. So we've consolidated all of that here. You can see it's pretty full. I mean, with 9,000 items, definitely I can go more. I can go at least 10,000, maybe 12,000 items in here without getting too creative. You can see that everything is pre-boxed. So that does take up more space than trying to squeeze it into bins, but for me it's easier when we pull things. But if I want to go beyond 10 or 12,000 items, I might either consider a larger space or consider a better way to store things to save space. But really the goal is to stay within the 1,600 square feet, you know, stay around the 10,000 items or less, and then continue to increase the average sales price over time, so that I'm storing more expensive items in the same space over time. So currently I'm working on getting my sell-through rate up by being on multiple platforms and making sure that I'm maximizing those platforms. We've got about 8,500 listings right now on eBay. I've got another 5,500 on Poshmark now, and I'm expanding to try to max out Mercari and TradeZ right now. Mercari's got some limits on the account until I grow it a little bit more and get some more sales in there, but the goal is to max out all those accounts and to increase sell-through rate by being in multiple locations at the same time. Currently I'm running at about a 9% sell-through rate. My goal is to be at 20% sell-through. I've got about 160,000 in inventory right now, so I'd like to move that out at 20% per month is my goal right now. So I'm chasing that. So I'm really focused on being everywhere, being on all platforms with all of my units. So I have 4 virtual assistants that are working for me right now that are in the process of cross-listing and getting them up on all the sites, and I think we can achieve that. I want to get another 5% out of Mercari and maybe another 5% out of TradeZ if I can max it out. So working on that. But Here, give you an idea of what our space is like. I did a quick 5-minute tour in another video, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the storage units that I'm using right now. These are the ones, the Husky ones that you can get at Home Depot. I highly recommend them. There's two different kinds of shelving that I use. So I use this for the boxes. It actually works well with the boxes. If you can see, the depth on these is about the same depth as the box, maybe a little bit more slightly, but it works very well with the box. You can see from a side angle here kind of what it looks like, how deep it is. So I think that's 18 inches, I want to say, deep, and they are they're actually 6 foot tall, they're 4 foot wide, they are 5 shelves, and I can fit a total of 72 shoe boxes on one of these. So that'll give you an idea of how much I can store with the boxes. Without boxes, obviously you could store a lot more, but I'd probably be using a bin system if I wasn't using boxes. So on top, you can see I store some of the bigger boxes. These are like boots and larger shoes and things like that. So I'm using that on a to fill up that space. So I can go a little bit higher. These are 12-foot ceilings here, so I could go a little bit higher, although I don't want to put anything heavy up there when I need to pull it down. And my wife's 5'2", so if she's got to pull it down, it's a little bit difficult. I do have a step stool for her, but or she'll just call me over and say, "Get it." I'm 6 foot tall, so so I can pick it up. But these units are really nice for the shoe boxes. So again, these are the Husky. They're the 4 foot wide, 5 foot tall, 18 inches deep with the 5 shelves on them. You don't need any tools to construct them, which is very nice. So the only tool that I had was a rubber mallet. So that helps to kind of knock the shelving and stuff into place into these little slots that they use. So a rubber mallet is the only thing that I used. And then if you need to tear them apart really quick, you can take them apart with a rubber mallet. Also, we had to relocate them from our storage unit, and that was a lot of work to take down all the storage racks. But they came apart really fast. You can take one apart in a couple of minutes, and they're very transportable. So if you are in the process of expanding and you think you might want to move to another location, definitely invest in these types of racks. I tried to get some racks off of Craigslist. When I first started trying to get a good deal on them, I'd pick them up for 20, 30 bucks maybe. But they were all different sizes. They were, some of them needed tools and some screws and things like that. And it became a real pain. And as I was trying to expand the business, I needed a replenishable place where I could continue to get more of the exact same rack. Oh, you know what? These did not come from Home Depot. My other racks did. These came from Amazon. So when I first started getting these on Amazon, I think they were $55 a piece. But I started buying a bunch of them. I think I drove the prices up on it. And I think they got as high as like 75 bucks a piece at some point by the time I finished buying the ones I needed to. But these are a really solid investment. The nice thing is, if you have a replenishable on something that you need continuously when you need to expand, you need a place where you can go and get the exact same thing. Because if you have everything matching, it's easier to plan, it's easier to do your measurements to figure out what you need for expansion. So find a source that you can get multiples of and go back, and you know that when you go back a couple months later, they're going to have the same racks that you had before, and then everything matches. It's just a lot easier. So I did that with Amazon. Purchase these off of Amazon. They just drop ship them right to your front door, and then they come in a box, and you can just build them from there. So they're nice and easy to build. The other ones that I was thinking about was the ones we use for our bins. So on this side, you can see these are the Husky shelves. Sorry, these are the Husky shelves that we got from Home Depot. I'll try to put a link to the Amazon ones if you want to know the exact same rack that we're using for the shoe boxes. These I got from Home Depot, and you can probably get them from Amazon. I'm not really sure, but these are all over the place at Amazon. I'm sorry, at Home Depot. They're usually about $100 a piece. If you get them on sale, they'll be like 89 bucks. So I try to get them on sale. So they are a little bit more for these, but they are bigger. The Husky racks are 2 feet. They're 24 inches deep, which fits very, very well with these types of bins. And these are the, I've got the Sterilite type bins, and then these are the HDX. The HDX also are at Home Depot. They're the 20 gallon or 20 quart. They're the 20 gallon, yeah. They're 20 gallons, so you can see that's the label right there. You can find these at Home Depot. These are my favorite, and if you go to Home Depot, get a bunch of them at once. You can get them in a box. I think you can get 10 or 20 of them in a box. So I've got a lot of them. I actually have some of them stored up here on top that for future expansion. I had more than this before in the storage unit, and I've kind of consolidated a lot of it into these bins. I'm trying to keep everything down and not up high. So, but for sure, think about your future expansion. You want to make sure that before you invest in a lot of bins and you find out what type of bin that you want, measure some rack systems to figure it out, because I had to really do the calculations here, the measurements, to figure out what size bin fits in here that's going to take up all the space here without wasting space. So you can see these bins fit perfectly in here in the 24-inch space right here, and they also fit the height of the shelves. So I've got 3 different shelves here that are the same height-wise. The top one's a little bit shorter. It's just the way that the spacing works out on these racks. But that really worked out for me. I actually got smaller Sterilite bins on the top, which are smaller and lighter, which is good for you know, being up high. And this is the Sterilite here. It is the 56 quart Sterilite. And again, I got these from Home Depot also. And you can see all of we pre-package all of our stuff actually they're in various stages here. So we have some of them in eBay type of poly bags. Some of them are in USPS bags, which are free. The poly bags I get from our credit that we get every quarter. So if you have a store, a premium store, I think you get $50 every 3 months, and you can order eBay supplies. If you have an anchor store, it's $150 every 3 months. So we actually have 4 eBay stores. One of them is the anchor store, and the others are premium stores. So that's about 200. Let's see. Actually, I think 3 actually have stores. So it's about $250 worth of materials that we can get basically for free, included with the account on eBay. And so every quarter I order the supplies. So I mainly get poly bags and tape. Those are the 2 things. And I do get some of the larger boxes for for boots and things like that. So I like the eBay boxes for boots. So, but anyway, I wanted to give you a little overview of some of our rack systems that we have. Actually, you can see up on top of these are the boxes that I get from USPS. These are the shoe boxes, and they come in packs of 25. And you can order up to 6 of these at a time, I believe, on the website, and they're free. So I just order a ton of them, and I stockpile them, and I keep them up on top here. Since I do a lot of shoes, it's a good idea to have all of your materials ready to go to keep your workflow going whenever you need them. You don't have to order them. So if you've got the space to store them, definitely get a lot of extra ones and keep them handy for when you need them. So that's about it for this video. I wanted to keep it under 15 minutes. If you like the content here, definitely consider liking it. Leave a comment down below. I'd like to start up a conversation with you guys. This is a new channel for me, so I'm trying to get it going. And definitely subscribe and hit the bell if you want to get more of these. I'm going to be posting more very shortly here. All right. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one.